Welcome to the Ho-Ho Show, rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airways and strap in as we defend the Constitution. Because freedom matters.
Broadcasting live from the Conic Studio. You can check out my website, thehohoshow.com. I am all over the place on social media and a proud member of Weaponized Law Productions. So welcome to the Ho-Ho Show, and as always, I am your host, Ho-Ho. All right, so welcome everybody. Welcome Spreaker, welcome Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Periscope, and Facebook. How y'all's doing today? Hope you're doing well. I do have all of the chat windows up, and as far as I know, everything's working right. It looks like it is. The only one that I'm not even sure of is YouTube at the moment, to be honest with you. All the rest of them looks to be open. So I am joined today by none other than Mr. Ray. How you doing today, sir?
Good. Yeah.
Now you can talk.
Now I can talk.
Yeah. So know that thing you said earlier about that whole
unmuting stuff?
Yeah, well, apparently,
you almost had it.
I almost
had a perfect score.
That was well, I can't do a perfect score, right?
No. We give you an E for trying though.
An E?
An E.
Not even a B?
No.
That's like not even in the grade scale, man.
It used to be a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, back when I was in grade school, the first 3 years or 4 years, instead of A, B, C, D, and E, I mean F. Yeah, see what you do to me.
You can't blame me for that. Come on now.
I can blame you for everything. It used to be for the first few years, you'd get grades like E, G, S, N, and U. And then once I hit 4th grade, they changed it over to the lower grades, went standard with everybody else. A, B, C, D, and F. Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
I don't remember that at all. Do y'all remember that? I don't remember that. I don't remember that. So, now that this whole Kavanaugh thing is done, what are we supposed to talk about now? I don't even know.
Thank God.
Right.
Can we just take a breath and go,
dude, I tell
finally.
you what, 3 weeks maybe? Was it 3 weeks or basically nothing?
Felt like 3 years.
Dude, yeah. I mean, that's all anybody wanted to talk about. That's the only thing that was really in the news at all, really, was Kavanaugh. And, just thank God it's done.
What's the next one going to be like?
Well, they've already confirmed, 13 or 17 more judges in the past couple weeks. Mm-hmm. The GOP has. So that's, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
We need to be filling up all them open vacancies and whatnot, which, they're working on doing. So that's always a positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People are still not very happy in certain areas of the country, but.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I heard, I seen an article not that long ago. It was, there was a protester that admitted, and I believe this was on CNN, admitted to there being paid protesters that were being paid to have, I guess you could say, tweet-worthy moments or, basically to, paid to protest and make a ruckus.
Imagine that.
Did you like me using the breakfast?
Yeah.
Breakfast Club, the ruckus.
The ruckus?
What is ruckus?
Ruckus.
That was a good movie.
Gee, I wonder who's paying all these people.
I have no idea. What's that guy's name?
George Soros?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he had? No.
No.
Surely he wouldn't have anything to do with that. Come on, Meow.
Can I just make a statement on that guy?
Well, sure.
Just in case we got some friends out there. I'm not advocating anything, but just in case we have any CIA friends out there listening, I really don't like George Soros, and I think he interferes with a lot of stuff. Is there anything you guys can do about that if you're listening?
He sexually
just
assaulted
saying.
me.
I bet he did. But the problem is, you smiled during the whole thing.
He gave me laughing gas.
Yeah, that's what you call it. So how's your week going?
It's going all right. How about yours? How you doing?
It was pretty good. Busy weekend last weekend.
Yeah.
Local
Chili
event.
Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Except for the
the
miniature hurricane that went through.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't like doing that kind of thing. It was,
Yeah. But crap was flying everywhere.
among other things.
Yeah. Chili was flying too. Mm-hmm. Good times.
I don't have any. Oh, wait. Here we go. Nope, never mind. I don't have a sound effect good for that. Never mind.
You tried.
I was going to throw a sound effect in there, but the only thing I could really think of was,
Choose your destiny.
Some Mortal Kombat thing. That wasn't the
that
right one.
That was pretty good though.
Yeah. Then there's,
Fight.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Of course, the wind had a.
Flawless victory.
Yes,
yeah,
it did.
Yeah. The wind had a, definite. Of course, for.
Finish her. Finish him.
Either way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Done playing?
Yeah, I'm done playing.
Okay.
What's up, Nick? Good to see you, sir, over there in Facebook land. How you
Hey, Nick.
doing? You mess with my chair, and this sucker still ain't right yet.
What I do? I just flip a lever.
That's all. Yeah, you flipped a lever. Oh, he wants to know if your pants are. Laura wants to know if your pants are on. What?
My what?
Yeah, they're on.
Or are they?
Shut up, dude. Okay, so I can't see him on that camera angle either. Dude, are you trying to make it? Stop. All right. So should we get into news stuff? Now that.
Yeah. What's that phone number again?
Yeah, the phone number is 217-917-4405. If anybody wants to call and be part of the show, we got like a handful of different topics we're going into. And if you go to thehohoshow.com, go over to the newsfeed tab, you will see Mr. Dyer. How are you doing today? Well, you're not going to see him.
Hello.
You'll see the Flipboard thingy jigger, the click link thing that'll take you right over to Flipboard, which is my go-to hub for anything, everything, and all things news. Oh, you had theater tickets. Awesome. What'd you guys go and see? Now I'm kind of curious. See, what was over there? What is Uptown? I know I've seen
it, but I can't remember what
I can't remember either.
Yeah. Short-term memory.
I got short-term memory. It sometimes thinking, real heavily makes me, sometimes it does. It just makes me scream, but
Yeah. Other people too.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember though. I don't remember. What is Uptown, dude? What's up there? What's up there? Come on now. Don't leave me hanging like that. Young Frankenstein. Ooh. I don't even think I've seen a preview for Young Frankenstein.
I haven't either.
Wait, no. Okay, did they make a new one? Oh, funny stuff. Awesome. Who wasn't that Young Frankenstein? The dude, the guy that was in that one movie that played in that.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah, him.
He's in Blazing Saddles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's in See No Evil, and he's in all kinds of other stuff. Yeah. Did they remake that one, or just a different one, or is this a cartoon version of it? I don't know. He said funny stuff. Laura said good deal. Mm-hmm. Mel Brooks. Okay, yeah. Mel Brooks did that one. All right, cool. So maybe that is that one. Gene Wilder. All right, awesome. I like Gene Wilder. He is definitely a.
He died.
He did. It was a shame. I almost cried.
Yeah. They don't make movies like that anymore.
No, dude, and Mel Brooks was. I know he did an interview not that long ago, and he was talking about his movies, and he was talking PC being the killer of comedy, and mentioning that Blazing Saddles in today's day and age would never get made.
No.
Yeah. Oh, theater live, it's a play. Oh, that's awesome. Dude, I bet that would be funny. Yeah, okay. Dude, yeah, seen it as a play. That's awesome. Oh, yeah, I definitely would have gone to that. Yeah, that's I haven't been to enough plays. That'd be, theater. I like theater. I really haven't been to theater since I was in, high school, because high school does theater all the time.
Right.
And it's been a while since I've done any theater. Not seen any theater.
Yeah.
I've never been in theater. I don't think I can act. Oh, it starts at 7. Sweet. What kind of face is that? Is that like a walrus face or something? What is that? I don't think that was supposed to be like that. I don't think he was meaning to do that. I think the thing just decided it was going to make a smiley face right there that looks kind of weird. Looks like he's got... Never mind, we won't talk about what it looks like. It looks like something weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So.
A needle pulling thread.
Yes. I knew he was going to do that.
I did it again. All right, so where were we at? Scrolling on down into it. I guess we could start. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
The border wall.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Border wall. So here this one is. This is from the Daily Caller.
Call me maybe.
Kevin McCarthy rolls out bill to fully fund Trump's border wall and cut off sanctuary cities. Sweet.
Yes.
So there's some numbers in here that they throw into it. Roger says, reel them in, Ray. So this article throws some numbers in there, and let me go ahead and let you guys see these articles or these numbers. So you've got the $23 billion to build President Donald Trump's proposed border wall, and let's see, $16.6 billion for the border wall system, along with the U.S.-Mexico frontier, consisting of physical barriers and intrusion detection systems. That's pretty cool. $6.8 billion for security infrastructure, border surveillance technology, and additional detention space for illegal immigrant families. Sweet. Mm-hmm. Now, I have also heard, and this is something that isn't really getting talked about a lot right now. Actually, hasn't been talked about a lot at all. But the border wall is actually under construction in certain places.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know how much of the border wall they have done? Because I actually do not at all. Not even a little bit.
I've seen it somewhere, but honestly, I can't remember exactly what those numbers were.
Yeah, because I mean that's one of the things. And I said it again, but they they're really not talking about that. They're not letting people in on what's going on, how far he's actually made it. I mean they really aren't.
Maybe they shouldn't.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Drug cartels are listening in.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know where the highest security is right now. They want to know where the roughest spots are.
The highest security is in California.
Yeah. Anyway, but do you want them to know that? I mean, no. We're just going to do this as quietly as we can. That way, they don't know where the heavy security is. That way they adjust their plans accordingly. Well, there's too many border patrol over here. There's too much security over here, so we're going to have to adjust our routes to the weaker areas. Mm-hmm. We don't want them to have an advantage. So,
I see that. I understand that. They will just fly over. I hope not.
Yeah.
Then we'll have to have. Dude, we need EMP weapons. We got pointing.
Yeah.
What's that one movie? No, but I can see that. Phasers set on stun. But that is one thing that I liked in here that they were talking about was different border systems and detection systems that they were talking about. Yeah, there it is, detection systems. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that they were talking about with the border wall and border protection with agents and stuff like that. That agents can't be everywhere, but there's a lot they're doing with cameras, which they are talking about cameras on here. They're talking, even drones in order to be able to move the border wall agents where they need to be, which is freaking amazing.
Have you ever seen the
using drones.
security measures on Area 51? It's state of the art.
Yeah, but there is
stuff.
no Area 51.
Well, the
Actually, it's
that
Area 52.
the
They
area
changed
that,
the name
the
to
area that they say doesn't exist.
Right.
You know, they got sensors and stuff like that. I'm kind of curious if
Well, they
if
have
it's
ground
if
sensors
it's the
too,
same mechanisms as what they're going to use on the border wall.
It's very possible. I mean,
Yeah.
they got ground sensors. They got, fence things, motion detector things, which that would be kind of,
All kinds of weird
considering
gadgets.
the wildlife out there and whatnot. Yeah, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So the other article,
I'm just saying it works for them. It could work at the border.
True that.
Yeah.
True that. The other article that I had on here, and this one, I wasn't surprised to see this one at all, but this headline is, really?
Really.
Get off there. Republicans promise post-midterm fight to fund Trump's border wall. And in which case, yeah, I wasn't, hey, yeah, there's some of it pickered right there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Might be.
That might be it. Oh, well, you know what? If I read the bottom of it, that might tell me.
Yeah.
General view of the wall that the border between the United States and Mexico in a section of the community of Santa Teresa. Mexico, April 9th, 2018. Okay, cool. Sweet. But this one is the one that I was actually expecting to see. Republicans promise post-midterm fight to fund Trump's border wall. You see, this is the way that I figured they'd do it. You know, they would wait until after the midterms, in which case that's the thing. You know, it makes no sense to me for one of the biggest promises that they made, and a promise that they said that they would do well before now, as a campaign promise, to now, okay, now I know we didn't do it. You know, we had 2 years to do it in, and I know we haven't done anything yet, but I promise after the midterm, if you put us back in the office, we'll do it. Mm-hmm. But that's a game that the Republicans have been playing for a very long time. You know I campaigned on it already, but if you just put me back there, I'll get her done this time. What?
Right.
You know, like we're going to trust you, like we're going to believe you. You know, give us a reason, you know, give me an accomplishment that you have made to send me back to the voting block for you instead of an empty promise. Because that's what Republicans have been campaigning on ever since I can remember, is open, empty promises. Why don't you give me a record you can be proud of that I can vote for you on?
He's doing the hand waving thing. You know,
I'm
it's
doing
serious.
the hand waving thing. Yeah.
It's serious when you're waving your hand.
You know, why don't I take that off of that screen? There we go.
Yeah.
Cool, I took it off that screen. But yeah, I don't get it. You know, I don't get it. That's what Republicans have been doing for a long time. And it's like, dude, why would we believe you? That's a big difference between Democrats and Republicans, that, you know, Democrats, they fight for their constituents. Republicans say, just vote for me again and I'll get her done. And then the next time around, just vote for me again and I'll get her done. You know, there is actually something I was wanting to talk about. We'll do that after the next break. The next segment, we'll do that, because that is a conversation that I do want to have. And I had it with a buddy of mine like 4 days ago. Hmm. It's a good topic. Yeah. You'll like it.
Scary.
Like it. You will. You will like it. Hmm. Good old Uncle Sam. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm awake. You know what? There you go. That's a good place to be honest with you, Nick. That is a very good place to be. You know, I'm not a big party person either. You know, I'm one of those. I would have voted for, JFK. You know, he's a Democrat. I would have stood behind. You know, definitely I liked his politics, but it's not, you know, I'm not really about politics. I just, you know, for the most part, most of my, not necessarily what they do, but what they campaign on, I find myself in line more with Republicans than I do Democrats. But,
right.
You know, that's just what they campaign on, not necessarily what they get accomplished. Other than that, I had to take a drink. All right, let's see. Let's move on.
Anything else on that border thing?
No, not really.
No?
No,
Okay.
I think we're good.
I say they just
Yeah,
put like a
more promises.
rail along the border, and then just tie like mountain lions to it. Just they can go up and down it, and
I like the idea of, I'm assuming you've seen Jurassic Park.
the original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one. Yeah, just that huge fence, electrified. Mm-hmm. I think that would work. I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
Big old wall like that, you touch it,
You're dead.
You're getting shot. Like you're probably dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your hair's going to be standing straight up, look like Albert Einstein.
You don't want to die, then
Then
don't touch it.
the wall. Exactly. Have to put it in Espanol and English as well. Although I was going to say something, I'm not going to say it. I almost had a slip of mouth. Yep, I didn't do it. I didn't say it.
Was it something good?
Maybe.
That's sad.
No. It wasn't good.
Oh,
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Okay.
It was bad. It was
All right.
bad.
All right. Keep it in then.
It was bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you remember a while back ago that whole security clearance crap that some general or whatever had a security clearance revoked.
Right.
Well, that type of thing is in the news again.
It is.
It is.
Wow.
Guess who they're talking about?
Who?
Hillary Clinton.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
Although, from what the article says in Politico, it says that State Department revokes Hillary Clinton's request, or I'm sorry, stop, rewind, play. State Department revokes Hillary Clinton's security clearance at her request. Do you believe that?
Yes and no. I believe she knew it was coming, so she made a good media soundbite and said, well, before they make that official, I'm just going to tell them to go ahead and do it. Even though it's going to happen anyway, it's headed down that road anyway, I'm just going to tell them to go ahead and do it. That way it makes me look good.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Not that I've seen anything, and this thing doesn't say, because this article, of course, it is Politico.
Right.
But they don't say anything that leans that direction. They say that the Clinton security clearance was withdrawn on August 30th, according to a letter from the State Department to Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley. Is it Grassley?
Sounds right.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Republican of Iowa, which he released. Now, this isn't actually the only time that she was in the news recently, though, is it?
What else is there?
Dude, okay, so I heard, and I was looking for the article, and I did find the article, but I wasn't able to find it today or yesterday whenever I was looking. But apparently, she had a speech, earlier in the week, last week, whatever, sometime, and she was talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Some type of a revolution, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because the Democrats now with Brett Kavanaugh being in the Supreme Court, they're talking about how much they are not happy about that with not having, Senate, House of Representatives, President. So they're like, we need a revolution. We need to, fix this.
Actually, if you want to go to break, I do have a pic of that on my Facebook's certain page that you can pull up and get the actual quote of what she said, and then it has a comparative quote to somebody else in history.
Oh, yeah?
I won't say who, but if you want to look that up on break, we can come back and you can
probably
talk
do
about that. It's
And-
pretty interesting.
And crap.
Squirrel. Did you just went?
Do.
Time for a break.
Yeah, okay, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Because whatever my mind was going, and it was good too, what my mind was saying. It was excellent. It was great, but it went bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It escaped.
Out the ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good time for a break then.
Yeah, why not? I hate it. I hate it whenever that happens, because sometimes the mind, it just doesn't agree with what my brain says, and of which case there's just,
How much Mountain Dew have you drunk, though?
I really haven't had all that much today, which surprisingly, maybe I need more. Maybe that's what my problem is.
We'll be back.
We'll be right back. I promise. We'll be back.
I'll be back.
I got a soundbite for that.
I'll be back.
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 I'm back.
Oh. Hopes to have a song pulled up. There we go. Welcome back to the Ho Ho Show. How's it going, everybody? So, yeah, I was looking for what Ray had said, and yeah, this is interesting.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, I do. So Hillary says, you know what? Let me just show y'all what it was that she said. Hillary says 2018 that we will only talk of civility when we won the House and the Senate. And another famous gentleman, we shall only talk of peace when we have won the war, 1939, said by Adolf Hitler. Interesting. Not that I would compare Hillary to, Adolf Hitler. He has a much better head of hair.
Right.
Wow. No, I'm not going to go that far as, to compare, anybody of today to the, Hitler. That's because she may want power and whatnot, but I don't think she would go as far as where's the back button on this or whatever.
But how many people thought that Hitler would go that far, though, too?
Yeah, well, you got a point, but even still, there's one thing that hasn't happened here that did happen over there. We still have our guns.
Right.
We definitely have our guns. And yeah, I mean, that's a there's a word. I'm looking for it.
English.
Yeah, English is a first language, guys. I'm telling you what, it's a bad thing. I was really hoping that while we were on break that, that whole, that train of thought that I was in.
It'll come to you at about 2 a.m.
Probably.
Right, and when you're sound asleep, you're going to wake.
I'm going to jerk awake. I'm going to jump out of my bed and be like, Eureka! Yes. I might not say Eureka. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I think I will. That's a really good idea. I like saying Eureka. It's a fun word. Mm-hmm. Eureka! I used to live by Eureka, actually.
Yeah, near Six Flags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to live by Six Flags. I was the other direction, but...
That's cool, dude.
That's beside the point.
Yes.
I used to work at Six Flags.
You worked at Six
I
Flags?
worked at Six Flags, and dude, I got dark. I was out in the sun every day, and I got pretty stinking dark.
Oh, yeah, because I seen your old...
Yeah. Oh my God. dude.
Driver's license.
Yeah. So I had like 3 different driver's licenses. Okay, they weren't valid drive. Just the cutting hat to where my picture was still there. So I had like me as a $1.80 pale white kid, and then I had me looking more Mexican than Gabriel Iglesias, and then a current picture. And I kid you not, I carried them all with me because it was like this is the progression of Ho-Ho. And I actually had a cop question me. He's like, dude, you don't look like that. I go, look, see, here's 3 different photos. It's definitely all me. And here's the progression of Ho-Ho. And he looked at them all. He was like, wow, why do you have all these? So I can show people like you. And he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's interesting.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely weird.
Yeah, that one picture.
Pale white kid and then fluffy Mexican. It's like...
Yeah, ICE would be detaining you on that one.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. I kid you not. I had, and yeah, this was shortly after I started working for CRST. I was down on I-10, driving back on I-10, and I had this was before the filter between mouth and brain had really eroded, okay? So, and I was very proud of myself for what didn't come out of my mouth. But anyway, I get stopped by Border Patrol, because they, patrol... in them border areas, I was in a spot where you can just kind of look off the distance and you can see Mexico.
Right.
So I was over there on I-10, and I got stopped by Border Patrol. They asked me if I was, if I was American. Now, my head was, because the smart ass that lives up in there. I don't know who he is, but he lives up in there and he says stuff. He whispers stuff in my head sometimes, and he was like, are you? Thank God it didn't come out. It did not come out, Whew. Now, and I've told my boss too.
We're not going anywhere near Mexico today.
No. But yeah, I told my boss a while back ago, I go, dude, if I ever get pulled over in Canada, just so you know, I'm probably going to need you to come up and get me because I'm getting arrested. And he was like, why? I go, because, all right, up in Canada, the state patrol...
Mounties.
The county, well, they're not really county mountain, but anyway, they're the OPP because I go to Ontario and it's Ontario Provincial Police. That's what they're called, So you know where I'm going with this. So I'm going to ask the cop. As soon as I get pulled over, it's like, who's that one OPP? And if he doesn't say, yeah, you know me, I'm screwed. I'm getting arrested. And I'm going to be calling him up like, dude, I got arrested. He's going to be like, yeah, exactly. He's going to be like, what did you do, ho-ho? I'm going to be like, dude, he wasn't down with OPP.
Yeah.
So to any Canadian police officers, if you're watching, I'm sorry. It is bound to happen.
Well, just don't be like, sir, is your first name Deadly?
Yeah.
Deadly, do
yeah,
right.
but if he's not down with OPP, I'm definitely getting arrested.
Yeah.
I just hope he has a sense of humor. I really do.
Well, there's a sense of humor, and then there's your sense of humor. Okay? Let's clarify this.
Hey. Last time I got pulled over, the cop didn't... Okay, now, I did not know. I was driving a buddy of mine's vehicle, okay? And I had like 5 other people in the vehicle with me, all right? Okay, 4 other people in the vehicle with me. And, me, that was 5. So, yeah, there was me and then 4 other people. And, I get pulled over, and he, like, the guy who owned the car, he was like, yeah, dude, we're so getting pulled over. And, well, before then, I was driving, like, really nice. I'm like, I'm driving really good, aren't I? It's like, I'm behaving. I'm, like, following the laws. And then as soon as I said that, I was like, wah, I had to get on it just a little bit, and then I seen cop, and I'm like, shit. He just came out of nowhere. I did not see him before, so he passes me. And he didn't care that I went, wah, he didn't care about that at all. And then he was, he turned around and then pulled up behind me, and then we're like still going down the road. We almost get to where we're going. We're like a block and a half away from our destination. We were almost at the finish line. We almost passed go. We almost collected our $200. But then Whoop, whoop. Oops. Shit. So I roll my window down, got my, wallet out, about ready to hand him my license. I'm like, license and insurance, and hand me the insurance. And then I get a song coming in my head. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? So I'm singing this, loud enough that I did not see him like standing basically behind the vehicle listening to me singing this song. Because I was told by the lady in the back, that's like, dude, he's been standing there for a while. I'm like, oh shit. As soon as I seen the wrestling behind me, I'm like, I quit singing. I'm like, I'm done. Yeah, that was a good time.
I think one of my favorite ones was the Mountain Dew story. Didn't you get pulled over by a cop and he thought you were drinking, and he said,
"Oh yeah, I got pulled over, and I don't know why exactly he pulled me over. I don't remember at all, but he asked me, if I knew why I pulled him over. I'm like, I have no idea. I played that game before and I lost that game, so I'm not playing that again. So why don't you just tell me?" So. But he asked me if I'd been drinking. I was like, oh yeah, I've been drinking. I've had a few. He's like, well, how many's a few? How many have you had? I'm like, I don't know, 6 or 7, something like that. He was like, all right, when was the last time you drank? I'm like, not that long ago. I had my last one about 30 minutes ago or so. He's like, all right, well, do you think you could pass a sobriety test to take a breathalyzer? I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I can take a breathalyzer. I don't know. Does Mountain Dew come up in a breathalyzer? And he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's what I've been drinking is Mountain Dew. I haven't been drinking anything else. And I didn't, you just asked me if I was drinking. You did not specify as I was drinking alcohol. I was being all defensive at that point. I'm like, hey now, officer.
Was he happy?
No, he wasn't.
He didn't laugh?
He did not see the humor in that at all.
Wow.
I don't understand why. I thought it was funnier now.
What'd he do?
Nothing.
He just kind of walked off?
Like, damn it, ho-ho. All right, fine. Get away from me then. Yeah.
You'll drink of that.
I hate it whenever that happens. Most of the cops, though, they have, I've done stupid stuff. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. What else you got up there?
Well, let me see here. Ooh, maybe we should talk about this one. Nah, yeah, sure, why not? We're here already. We'll talk about Apple, and then we'll go on to Facebook. Facebook is amazing. So, this article from Cult of Mac, really? Okay, I didn't know that even existed. But Apple employee spotted walking streets wearing a giant backpack with sensors. Now, I got to admit, guys, this looks kind of funny. It's a very strange looking backpack sensor things, but it was what they're doing, just so you guys know. This isn't anything nefarious, whatever that means, but they are, doing street view, size, of the streets and whatnot for for Apple mapping as I guess what they were saying.
Kind of like Google Maps?
Yeah, kind of like Google Maps. That's what they're doing. They're sensing the width of the streets and different things of that nature, just to make their maps more accurate. So,
right.
But yeah, looking at that thing, that looks kind of weird. I'm kind of surprised that type of stuff, the Google isn't using that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know what Google uses.
They have a car.
They have a car?
Yeah, they got a car.
Oh.
Drives around everywhere.
How come Apple doesn't have a car?
I don't know. They got a guy. Hey, dude! Oh, man. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch yourself. Whew.
Got
Excuse me.
Floaties in my drink now.
Well, you shouldn't have had it sitting there. Uh-oh. Oh, I got another one coming.
Uh-oh.
Whew. Yeah, don't put your drink down yet. Watermelon, rainbow, apple pie. Okay, whew, I'm better.
Good?
Apple has the SS7 exploit not fully patched yet. I am unfamiliar with the SS7 exploit. I don't really pay a lot of attention to Apple, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm an Android fan and have been since birth. Wait, Android hasn't been out that long. So yeah, so for a while I've been an Android fan. That's, I'm not real familiar with Apple stuff and whatnot. Not at all. What is the SS7 exploit, sir? So moving on, while Nick gives me that information, The next article, actually, it's a couple articles I want to touch base on. And let's see, which one should I start off with? Hackers or deletions? Hackers or
Hack it up
deletions?
first and then
Hack it up
delete
first
it.
and then deletions. All right. So, this article says Facebook says that hackers stole detailed personal data from 14 million people. And this article came out on the 12th. What's today? 13th. So it came out yesterday. And I guess the most recent one I heard, was like 50 million people, but apparently the company said that it was closer to 30 million people that were affected. Let's see, about 15 million stole, or 15 million had, 14 million people. The hackers accessed information such as the last 10 places a person has checked into, their current city, and the 15 most recent searches. They also had like 15 million, the cyber thieves only accessed name and contact information, and 1 million people, those accounts were vulnerable. So they didn't take any information from about 1 million people whose accounts were vulnerable. Okay, so, but yeah, so 30 million people were affected by this hack.
Wow. Did you see the post the other day about Lizzie Borden's parents getting hacked?
Yeah.
Yeah, you seen that? Yeah.
Yeah. Too soon?
Nah.
No? Okay.
Nah. It wasn't.
I don't know this
It
guy.
was an actual post though. It was.
Yeah, that
it
was
flying around.
yeah, that was a meme.
Mimi.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Why do people say meme?
Because it says Emmy.
Yeah.
Mimi.
Mimi?
Mimi.
Is that like almost French? Oui, oui?
Wee wee.
Maybe. All right. So the other Facebook thing we got. Now this one comes from the download. Facebook has removed hundreds of accounts spewing political spam.
Ooh.
Yes. And this article says that Facebook has shut down 559 pages and 251 accounts in the U.S. for violating its anti-spam rules. Some of them were often pumping out identical pieces of content, and the spammers were also using lots of fake profiles to hide the fact that their actions were coordinated. Now, they haven't been, or at least Facebook hasn't released any information as far as the identities of the pages and profiles or accounts that has been shut down. But I was talking with a buddy of mine, and he's actually, he pointed out like several of his, and they were all, okay, now, this is one-sided. All right, I'm just going to let you know this information I'm about ready to tell you is one-sided. But that is because I cannot account for what the other side has been, or what has been going on the other side, considering I really don't pay attention to what goes on liberal pages. But, he mentioned, like several of them, on the conservative side that were shut down.
Right.
And he mentioned names. And I would love to give you the names of the different pages that were shut down. Unfortunately, I don't remember a single one of them that he said.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Remember at 2:00 in the morning again.
I'll probably remember that at 2:00 in the morning. But yeah, he mentioned several of them, and he did, and he was very adamant that he knew that these were deleted and that they were conservative leaning, sites and whatnot. And he stated that beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Doesn't surprise me.
But I can't remember a single one of them what he said.
Right.
There's like 3 or 4 that he mentioned that were shut down and whatnot that, But again, this is, very one-sided, and I understand that because I don't know, how many, left-leaning pages were shut down. I don't know. More than likely, and we're actually going to get into an aspect of this after the next segment, or you know what? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to do that meow.
Meow.
We're going to do that right meow. So this next article that I got, this one is a cool article. Kind of. This is actually kind of, as soon as I find it, aha! This article comes from Gapusa. GOP. Thank you. Yeah, GOP USA, and I'll be honest with you guys, I have never heard of them before. Never heard of them. I have no idea who they are. But this article says Google's Good Censor document, the end of free speech as we know it. A Google memo, I believe, that got released not that long ago. And dadgummit, I got to click another button. Dang it. GOP USA. Yeah, that's what it is. Gapusa.
I think it's like GOP USA.
But that says Gapusa. That's what that says. See, look, right there. Right there. Gapusa. That's what that says right there.
Yeah.
Anyway. What does it say?
You're
Yeah, there it is. Google's Good Censor document, the end of free speech as we know it. So this article is basically saying that, well, okay, let me just read you the intro, the first paragraph. I ain't going to read this whole paragraph. That's a big paragraph. I forgot how to read already. I don't want to read all this. Basically, it describes the state of how we consume information. Facebook, social media, Twitter, all that good places. That's how we consume. That's how we consume news. That's how we consume. That's how we consume news and information, and that's how we communicate with each other and everything else. That's how it is. So to have an openly liberal, Silicon Valley information thing such as Facebook and Twitter and Google, because they're definitely left wing leaning. Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah. So to have them basically limit somebody's free speech, decide what somebody is going to see and how they are going to distribute the information that they are entrusted with, I guess you can say, for lack of better terms, that is definitely a scary thing to have gatekeepers in the way of the free flow of information.
Right.
The end of free speech as we know it.
Yeah.
And I don't mind using a company that is left wing. Man, I can't say that at all. I don't mind using a company. Yes, I don't mind that in a company, but whenever you are going to hinder, the free flow of information, whenever you claim that, no, this is not what you do, but I don't like that.
This goes back to a point I've had. How come all these companies that have social media sites, internet sites, technology sites, the majority of them are left-wing leaning? How come we don't have more conservative companies? How come we don't have more conservative, this or that?
Well, the fact of the matter, or at least in a matter of speaking, all of these, Silicon Valley's in California,
right?
And that's just the majority of. That's California.
Yeah, but you got investors that could, equally invest in these companies at the, just like anybody else. Mm-hmm. We need more conservative people to step up and invest and buy out some of these stocks, even if it's little by little. Eventually we can. Not saying all of them, but we can at least push it back. Yeah, it just irks me.
It would take a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it really would. True, but I mean, here's a problem though. Okay. I mean, look at the power that Google has. Mm-hmm. Okay. Google is the #1 search engine in the world. You've got Google, Facebook, and YouTube. Okay. Which YouTube is owned by by Google. So Google is #1, period.
Right.
Okay. That's a lot of power.
Right.
That's just be honest with you. That's a lot of power. Whenever you have, like 18 days worth of video is uploaded every something ridiculous, like every hour or something uploaded to YouTube a day.
Wouldn't you
or
consider
something.
consider that Google almost a monopoly right now? You know, do you remember back when
No.
when Ma Bell was around? The FTC broke them up,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how AT&T came about, and a few
Mm-hmm.
other companies, is because they had too much control over a lot of things. It just seems like Google is if it's not there, it's close to it to me.
No, I mean, you got Bing, you got DuckDuckGo, you got, different things of that nature. You got
Yeah.
Firefox, you got, Windows Explorer Edge, whatever that thing is
Right.
called. I mean, you've got, Vimeo, and you've got Weemy, and you've got, I don't know, a handful of other, Twitch and Mixer. I mean, you got a handful of other ones. So, I mean, you can't really consider that as being a monopoly. I mean, yes, they may have a controlling interest in it, but I mean, it isn't a monopoly by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
But either way you look at it, they are number one. Going back to my point, they are number one. And the power that they have is because they can offer their service, because of them being number one, absolutely for free. There are other places you can go out there.
Right.
Vimeo being one of them. That costs money. Whenever you have a free option, whenever you have a free service that is number one, everybody uses it. Why would you go anywhere else? As a content creator, whenever you can upload, absolutely for free, can stream for free a live stream to that site for somebody to click on and view at any time, why would you use a paid service versus a free service?
Right. Do you see
Most people are cheap.
Do you see any
Me
other
included.
companies that might give them a challenge in the future?
Vimeo has the opportunity, but it's an aspect of driving traffic.
Right.
You got to have people use them before you can really, before people can get there, they're going to have to tick off enough people to make them go somewhere else.
Right.
It's happening. The shifting is going on, but I mean, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
People are used to YouTube. I mean, they have a lot to offer.
Yeah.
But the problem is, that's just what it amounts to. It's a free service that offers a lot. They sell you your information and your content to everybody. But I mean, it's free. I mean, they offer.
There's a more conservative site, and we've talked about before,
Mm-hmm.
that's popped up called one of them is called Gab, and there's another
Mm-hmm.
one too. But like you said, they're not fully cohesive yet. I guess you'd say, to be able to get to that next level. They're in the infancy, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's bound to happen. I mean, come on. I mean, it's the .com era. I mean, you remember how many companies rose and fell in a very short amount of time during the .com wars. I mean, it's just the .com wars. It was the .com wars. I lost a big toe and something else. I don't even know. But yeah, I mean,
that was
it's
right
just,
after the Clone Wars.
that was right after the Clone Wars, man. The .com wars happened
.com
right
wars.
after it was what, Order 61? What was the order that he gave?
66.
Oh, Order 66. I was so close. I was 5 off.
Yeah.
Dang it. That's because I lost a hand, but never, Darth Vader chopped it off, and I lost my hand. That's why I was 5 off. But anyway,
It's 61 now.
61 now. Yeah. Forgot how to math there for a second. But yeah, I mean, it's YouTube has a lot to offer right now. And until people get ticked off enough to start going other places, which, I mean, it's bound to happen. I mean, it just is. It's bound to happen. But until enough people go somewhere else and make another place relevant,
Right.
that's what it amounts to.
But you know what's good, though?
What's that?
And this goes back to the .com wars and stuff. How many people became millionaires overnight back in the day when all this stuff was created? Wouldn't you like to know the next big thing that's going to challenge Google or Facebook or whatever ahead of time, and just take a chunk of money and invest in that? And, and then 5 years from now, boom, you're set.
Well, really, we can do that already. You know, I mean, you just got to really pay attention to, you know, the sprouting up companies. I mean, if you look at it, you know, and this is something that Brandon does, you know, as he watches, you know, like the little, you know, starter companies and whatnot. You know, he gets on there and he searches out through the you know, the really small, you know, really cheap, you know, stocks you can buy and whatnot. But I mean, there's already some that, you know, and we being one of them as a basically a Facebook replacement. Mm-hmm. You know, so I mean,
Or what it reminds me of is there was a school teacher who, when Amazon first came out, she bought $5,000 worth of stock, and a few years later, she was a millionaire. I mean, that's just one of many stories, but you know, like you said, if you pay attention, you can make a crap ton of money in a short amount of time.
yeah.
It's just being at the right place at the right time and knowing which one to do. But I see a lot of opportunities for people to be able to do that in the future.
Oh, yeah.
I just hope I'm one of them.
Right. I had something weird pop up on my notification. Shush.
Well, that's not exactly breaking news, is it?
Shush.
Oh. What's that phone number again? 217?
Yeah, 21. Oh, that's what that was. Yeah, okay. I don't need that. Okay. Yeah, the phone number if you guys want to call in and be part of the craziness, the madness, whatever. 217-917-4405. We do have a few more articles to get into. Why did I minimize that? Okay. Huh? What?
What did you do?
I don't know. I heard something. Something went. Maybe that's what that was. Oh, what? What? I don't know. I don't know. My phone's making weird noises on me. Okay, there we go. Man, I hate it when I hate it when that happens. Man, I really do. I hate it when that happens. All right. Let's see. Let me we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. Again, we're coming up on hour number, 2. We're almost done with the first hour. Wow.
4 more to go.
No. You're insane. I'm not doing no 5-hour show. Although, no. I can do a 5-hour show, but I'm not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Don't look at me not tone of voice. It ain't going to happen. All right, guys. We're going to take a quick break. And we will return in just a couple minutes. Welcome back to the Ho Ho Show. And how are y'all doing today? Holy cow. Hey, you are unmuted. Sweet. I wasn't sure if I was going to remember or not. I did. I did good. Proud of me. Oh, quit it. I looked at the board and I knew I unmuted you. Would you play that game with me?
What?
Yeah, okay, I'm done.
You done playing?
I'm done
Okay.
playing. All right. Okay.
What's next?
So the last segment, and by the way, call-in number is 217-917-4405 if y'all want to call and be part of the show. This next article is from BuzzFeed.News. The method that snared the Golden State Killer suspect could find more than half of Americans from their DNA, scientists say. Ooh.
Wow.
I brought that up because, we were talking off air before the show. Different DNA collection sites like 23andMe, that if they were to use the information they have, they can close close cases and whatnot where they have the DNA, but they don't have a suspect to tie it to, different things like that. But what this article was talking about was a company in Israel, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, MyHeritage, which is based in Israel. And they said using, considering the about half of the U.S. population, about 60% of those with white European ancestry, have a third cousin or closer relative in the database. The researchers could calculate, who a person is using their genealogy and using the DNA and using just all that other kind of stuff in order to find suspects, and this is all being done outside the Fourth Amendment.
Right.
And this is one of them things as far as with 23andMe and different, those DNA testing places and whatnot. That has been a concern of mine since since all that stuff started coming out. Mm-hmm. Is that it's only a matter of time. You look at how the FBI has been attacking Apple with trying to make it to where officers and FBI and, any and all law enforcement can hack into your phone with a backdoor key, type of thing. That, and I'm, thankfully Apple is like, no, we're not jeopardizing the privacy and security of the people who, have Apple products. So no, they're not going to do this, but with a lesser company might very well give in.
Right.
So that's a fear that,
But that goes back to
or a concern, I guess I should say.
what we were saying off air. You go sign up at a grocery store for deals and wheels and deals and what have you, and all the information that you give them, a lot of these places sell to a third-party vendor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Unbeknownst to you sometimes. You just, boom, they own your information now. So the same thing could happen at all these different companies. Okay, I give you my DNA, okay, and then 5 years from now, well, I don't know, you just sold it to a third party. Well, that third party might be a government agency who's putting all that information right into a database, for use for later on for God knows what purpose.
No, yeah. And that's the thing. Okay, here's the reality when it comes to doing anything. Anything you sign up for, anything you do, right on down to getting your, your car insurance, your health insurance, your, deals at Kroger and, any number of things. You give them your name, your email address, whatever, that's going to be sold. I mean, just you should just be giving that with the knowledge that you're going to have a telemarketer give you a call, within a month. You should just do that knowing that's going to happen.
Amen.
Because that's just the way it is, And with any type of a free service, be leery of free. You're going to pay for it one way, shape, or form because either, and this goes for YouTube, this goes for Facebook, this goes with anything. Either you are the customer or you are the commodity. Either one. Why do you have the hiccups?
That just happened.
Okay. Yeah. Either you are the customer, as in you are paying for something, or you are the thing being sold. Either or. So be leery of free. In all honesty, if there's any type of a service out there that is free, be very careful about it.
Right.
That goes down to, an email, an email service that goes down to a VPN. If there's free, I'm getting a VPN, but I don't want to pay for one. I want a free one. Really? How secure is a free VPN? Hello, I don't get it, but yeah, either you are the thing being bought or you are somebody that is buying. And that's the only two ways it can be.
Yeah.
So yeah, be very mindful of free. And something like this, I don't like it. Ever since they started talking about these DNA profiles, I was like, dude, this is only a matter of time before, the government uses it for, tracking down, people and everything else. I mean, you see, okay, you're a movie buff just like I am. Mm-hmm. There was a movie not that long ago. Oh, wow, I'm trying to remember what it was. And of course I can't, but, the movie was talking about, through some type of water sanitation thing. This was a government-run company, water sanitation. And they were basically testing the DNA of the sewage from everybody and being able to, they were logging all the DNA of the people who lived in these different regions of different places, and God only knows where. And that's how they were able to track down the family members of, different people, jihadists, criminals, whatever, using that kind of stuff. So if somebody's at least thought about it enough to put it into a movie, it just makes you wonder.
It's probably been done.
Especially seeing articles like this pop up, that this is a definite possibility. It pretty much tells me that it's only a matter of time before they actually start doing something like this. So yeah, that's why I don't like this whole these DNA profiles and whatnot that they offer. I don't like them one bit. I'm going to be honest with you.
Right.
I don't like them.
So many scenarios that could be, things could be abused in many different ways.
Oh, yeah. But that's, and I know there's people out there that are like, well, if you got nothing to hide, well, then, yeah, but I shouldn't, I have a freedom. The Constitution's there, and it says that is my personal information, and the government doesn't have any right to it, that it's a violation of privacy, it's a violation of my freedom, and just on a whim, that's why that's why we have these freedoms. That's why these certain laws are in place as to keep the government from abusing them,
Right.
That's why they're there.
I agree. There. Yes. Yeah.
You're supposed to disagree.
I'm supposed to disagree?
Sure.
I disagree.
Well, you're wrong, sir. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Was that good?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
That was convincing even.
It was convincing?
Yeah, oh, yeah, that was good. You should be, that was great. You should be an actor.
You're a racist.
I am not.
Because you disagree with me. Or something like that. You know where that finger's been.
We're the same color. I do know where this finger's been.
That's scary.
I have a very good memory, sir.
Really? What's that thing that you're trying to remember
Shut up.
earlier?
I don't
You
remember.
You don't remember? I thought you had a good memory.
I do have a good memory.
Really? Then what was it?
I have a good long-term memory. It wasn't a number. I don't
Oh.
remember. It wasn't a number. If it was a number, I'd remember it.
Yeah.
I like numbers.
You like numbers?
Yeah, huh?
What's that phone number?
217-917-4405. And I did that without looking. I did too.
Wow.
Now I'm looking. I said it right even. Wow. I'm good like that. All right, moving on. What article was that one? Oh, yeah. I know the. Oh, yeah. So the conversation I was wanting to have with you, sir.
Now he remembers.
I remember this one. I'm trying to fix my cable a little bit. Okay, so I was discussing with I believe was it Mr. Vacker I was discussing this with? Might have been. But with everything that's been going on, okay?
Yeah.
And this is the historical thing from the Kavanaugh vote. I had a hiccup right there. I had a hiccup.
Contagious.
It is contagious. Holy crap! I did not know that hiccups were contagious.
Wow.
What the heck, sir? Anyway, but with the this was the historical thing with the vote.
Hairball?
I'll spit it out.
Told you
one
not
of
to
these
lick those cats.
days. Cat licked me first.
Okay. That makes it good.
I thought he was giving me. Never mind. But with the vote of the Kavanaugh vote, that was wow.
Right.
That was very, very significant. And here's why. All right. How many are in the Senate?
100.
100. How many of those are Republicans?
Oh, I could be wrong. I could be off a little bit. Basically, I want to say
51.
Yeah, that's
51.
51. Yeah.
So how many of them are Democrats? Say 49.
49.
No, you're supposed to say 49.
Oh, 49.
There you go. All right. So we have 51 Republicans, 49 Democrats. Now, I'm not asking for an exact number on this one, but okay, just a yes. Are some in the on the Republican side? Do you think there's some of those whom are Rhino Republicans?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's some that are Democrats in hiding, to be quite honest.
Well, that's basically what a Rhino is.
Right.
They're just in name only. And of which case Lindsey Graham's one of them. He's a Rhino. He classified in the the Kavanaugh hearing. And yes, we're going to talk about this a little bit. But not for the sake of Kavanaugh, though. This is a different swing.
Different take.
Yeah, a different take on this. But I'm not talking to Kavanaugh to talk Kavanaugh. I'm talking to Kavanaugh on the significance of the vote and what this could possibly mean for the Democratic Party. But Lindsey Graham is a Democrat. He is a Republican in name only, meaning he is a Democrat. He basically called the Democrats in his little, blowout speech, that the Democrats were his friends. He had even voted for, judges that were nominated by the Democratic Party, and he voted for them. Why? Because he liked them. Why? Because he himself is a Democrat. How did he vote?
I didn't see specifically how he voted.
Well, how did he say he was going to vote?
I thought he was going to vote for him.
Right, exactly. What was the first vote?
The first vote?
Mm-hmm.
What
The
do you
vote to move forward in the Senate for Kavanaugh. It was
Right.
51-49.
mean? 51-49, yeah, right.
Now, the actual final vote was 50-48. That's significant, guys. Because every single one of them people, every single one of them, understood that this whole thing was a political hit job and it could have been them. Every one of them understood that. Mm-hmm. And every one of them voted for Brett Kavanaugh. Every single one of them. The one that didn't voted present. Didn't vote no, voted present. And that was a representative from, I don't remember. But that was the one that we actually lost in the final vote.
Was that Flake?
It was a female.
Oh, female.
Yeah, it was a female. I don't remember.
Murkowski
I don't remember.
from Alaska?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I think she was from Alaska.
Yeah, it was Murkowski because she's basically a Democrat with a R by her name.
Right, yeah. So, but again, she didn't vote no. She voted present. That was the Republican that we lost.
Yeah.
So, I want people to understand the significance, the historical significance behind that. Because for once, and this is quite possibly the first time in history, the entirety of the Republican Party stood together behind one, I'm not going to say one person, but one goal.
Right.
That's historical.
Yeah.
The first time that has ever happened, the entirety of the Republican Party stood together, stood unified behind one goal because they understood that attack could have been any one of them that was done, that it was done to.
Right.
Any of them. They could have been them. That's huge. And I truly think that, with that happening before the midterm elections, I think there's enough people out there that understand what's going on. I mean, with the exception of, some of them far left, social justice warriors of the feminist movement and whatnot, that with the exception of them, I think most people are pretty well, even Democrats are like, or at least, I mean, not necessarily the, the political, the political Democrats, but the
hardworking blue collar Democrats is what they used to call them.
the people.
The people.
The Democrats, the
real
constituents.
the real
the real
Democrats.
Democrats. I think they're even looking at this and like, what's this all about? This is kind of going a little bit too far. I think there's enough of them out there that are even like, I don't like what the Democrats did here.
And I've heard that before too. That there's some, what I'll just call them real Democrats, that are ticked off about this whole situation. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of them switch parties and vote the other way. Not saying from this point on, but maybe just this election or the next one.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely possible.
And I think a lot of independents even are really seeing it even more. So I it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. But I more or less, I looked at that and I was like, wow, we could be seeing the start of the fall of the Democrat Party.
Right.
I mean, especially considering, think about it. Who actually won the nomination for the Democrats? During the 2018 election, who actually won?
The nomination for Hillary, it was Hillary.
She didn't actually win. It was Bernie Sanders that actually won.
Oh, okay.
Now,
I see what you're going. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, granted, that was a sad state of affairs, for the,
right.
For a socialist, an outspoken socialist to actually win. But I mean, even still, he was actually the winner, and they're actually saying that he's going to make a 2020 run for the presidency too.
Wow.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders is going to make a run. He, I guess, he had some type of an event in California. I think it was California. I don't know. Let me look right quick. I think it's in here. I think I put it in here. I didn't put it in here. I thought I did. There it is. I did. I put it in here. So yeah, he had a thing in. I'm looking. Bernie Sanders, this for the White House, 2020 pilgrimage in Golden State. I don't see it. All right, who cares? Yeah, he's reports are, or at least from how he's been doing different events and whatnot, they're pretty well suspecting he's going to make a 2020 run for the White House again.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, looking at that, especially during the most powerful, Democrat was Hillary, which is why she ended up getting the nomination, but she didn't actually win. That's another thing that Democrats are talking about, the Electoral College.
Right.
They're wanting to abolish it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a time I was actually, we should. Why don't we just elect based off of the popular vote? And then somebody slapped me on the back of the head. Look at Illinois.
That's where I was about to say. Look
at
where we're at.
Look at where we're at. It's the population hub of basically Chicago. There's a couple other counties in there as well. Champaign, Peoria. But primarily Cook County. The population hub. And if we had an electoral college, considering the entirety of the rest of the state is red, there it is right there. The whole point of the electoral college is so that it's not the population hubs that elect the president.
Right.
Because the fact of the matter is birds of a feather flock together. And Roger and I actually talked about this, last week. But birds of the feather flock together. People in bigger cities are used to the heavy hand of government telling them what to do, when to do it, public transportation, when you can travel because of public transportation, everything else, they pretty well dictate the lives of them because, in a matter of speaking, you got that many people living together. You kind of need some people or some additional laws in there to keep the peace.
Right.
You kind of need that. It just, I don't like it, but I can see the need for it, the necessity of it in the bigger cities. Down here, in the rest of the state, we don't need that heavy-handed government to live our lives. We're pretty well able to fend for ourselves, provide for ourselves. We don't need all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it kind of sucks to have one county dictate everything.
Right.
Kind of sucks. If we had an electoral type of a system in Illinois, that would actually allow us to maybe even turn red when it comes to electing our representatives, our governor, all that good stuff.
Right.
So same thing goes here. If they actually abolish the Electoral College, that would be a bad deal for the rest of the country.
Exactly.
And I mean, think about, like Rhode Island, they wouldn't have a voice.
No.
Connecticut would not have a voice. I don't know which way they lean. It doesn't matter. Their size, they don't have a very big presence. They don't have a lot in their population. So, I mean, yeah, they would basically have no voice. So talking about eliminating the Electoral College, I wish they would actually implement it in every single state.
Yeah, they should.
Ain't going to happen in Illinois, though.
No. Nope.
No.
They're trying the Illinois separation movement, but, they tried something like that out in California, and it got blocked.
Yeah,
so,
it did. Yeah, because they were wanting to go, North and South Carolina. Because that's the thing, dude. North Carolina ain't nothing like California. I knew what I meant. Shut up. I knew what I meant. North Carolina politics. No, dadgum, I did it again. North California politics ain't nothing like Southern California politics.
No, and they'll tell you.
No, yeah, absolutely. You classify them with the rest of California. I did it right that time. They're like, they'll punch you. It's like, I'm not one of them down south.
Right.
Yeah.
Drink more Mountain
Dew. Sometimes there's not, the mouth and the brain don't always communicate as they should. I hate it whenever that happens. Holy crap. Wow.
No, but I agree. That'd be awesome if we had an electoral college here, to where every county had its own vote, or
Right.
how it's set up,
Yeah.
and not just Chicago or East St. Louis or the hubs.
Yeah. It'd definitely be nice. It'd definitely be nice. And actually, if they would draw the lines,
Yeah, that's another story.
and yeah, they draw them lines purposefully to benefit the Democrat Party.
Right.
I mean, come on. There are blocks in this freaking town that are lumped within voting blocks in Chicago. Why? I mean, the answer is simple. It is to remove the power of the Republican vote. That's why they do it. They draw the lines not to better. It's to distribute the Republican vote within the different, county lines, so that this way the Republican voice is drowned out by all the blue. And that's why they do it. But yeah, I mean, oh, good grief. Yeah. And I'm sure every state's the same way, that doesn't have, that type of a system. I'm sure they all do the same thing.
Right.
And I'm sure Republicans don't do it any better, which is just foolish. That's actually, I don't remember who it was. I don't remember if it was Benjamin Franklin or if it was Madison. But that was one of the things that when talking about, and this was, later in their years, whenever they were talking about the Constitution and how they drew up the government and everything else, that was one thing that they wished that they put in the Constitution, was actual voting districts and things of that nature, making them more
Equal.
Yeah.
Balanced.
Yeah, voting districts and how they drew those lines and different things like that. That was one of the things that he mentioned as a downfall of how they did it. So yeah. I think that pretty well covers it.
No other articles on there?
No. Well,
No?
let me see. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Let's see here. Oh yeah.
Any movie news lately? It's been kind of
Actually,
dead.
yeah. Actually, yes. There is a live action movie that I don't know when this is coming out, but a live action movie, Aladdin. And guess who's going to play the genie?
Who?
Will Smith.
Nice.
That's what I said.
Wow.
That would be a story
Yeah.
all about how
His
my life got flipped, turned upside down. I wonder if Carlton's going to be in it. He could do that dance.
Could be. Or if I have his little ball cap turned to his side, the little.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, Will is the genie. Oh,
Yeah.
heck yeah. Dude, that'd be awesome. That was kind of loud. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we shall see.
And, of course, the new Halloween movie, which should be out soon, or at least in theaters, coming
Is
up.
that part
It's
25,000 or?
no, there hasn't been that many Halloweens. And this isn't the Rob Zombie, part of the Rob Zombie series. This is part of the original series. Because Jamie Lee Curtis is in this one.
Oh,
Yeah. Dude, I seen the previews for this one. Have you seen the previews for it?
no.
Oh, dude, the previews look amazing. I'm like, dude.
Michael Myers goes to collect Social Security.
Yes. And he's got his walker. How did you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jamie Lee Curtis is there, and she's like, die, Michael. That's me shooting him.
With a cane gun.
With a cane gun. Yeah, because, got to Got to throw sound effects in there.
Yeah.
And then Michael, he had a reaction too. Whenever he got shot, he was doing this. And then he died
He died. Mm-hmm. Again.
again for the 20th time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till next year.
Till next year.
Yeah.
And then everybody lived happily ever after, except for the dead people,
Yeah.
because they were dead.
And the Smurfs.
And the Smurfs.
Yeah. Because they're all over the wall.
They're all over the wall.
Wow. What do you see?
That's a weird looking paint splatter
Yeah, it is.
right there.
Yeah.
What?
You just now noticed that, huh?
Well, I don't look up there very often. That's a no. I'm not showing y'all's. That's kind of
What do you see in the splatter? Ho ho.
a dragon.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Dragon with his tongue sticking out of his mouth.
Really?
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody on chat?
No. I think
Nobody's
we're-
in chat?
No, I think we're good.
Oh wow.
All right, guys. That's all I got. That's it. I'm not
Food time.
food time.
Food time.
You got food?
I'm gonna get food.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm buying.
Oh, well, shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey guys, y'all have yourself a great one. Good night. Sleep tight. And let the bed bugs bite them back. Well played, sir.